Sack Life. Beat Depression is day 732, and you know what we're about to do. Get in another active recovery session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here now. Anyone who's tuning in later, as you know, we start every single show with that powerful mental health tool of gratitude. Today, gratitude going out to Jonathan Pu'u of Pu'u Muay Thai out there in California. He was gracious enough to lend his time and energy today to help us raise awareness to the mental health benefits of martial arts. Shared a lot of experience. We had a great interview. If you missed it, if you didn't catch it, check it out. It's on our IGTV page. It's under that series TKO Stigma, for Talk Knocks Out Stigma. And we're out here, we're getting it done, making progress, supporting each other. Really cool stuff, meeting cool people. And it's all about that bigger picture, right? What we can do for each other, creating those ripple effects. So I want to shout out to Jonathan Pu'u one more time for his support and lending his time and energy to help support our cause. Also, I want to shout out gratitude, of course, to everybody in here now, anyone who's tuning in later. Shout out to Mad with Hats. Shout out to Lisa the Luminary. Thank you guys and gals for being here and being consistent, making that progress every day. Which brings us into our next mental health tool, that progress tracking tool. Please do keep track of the number of days you show up for yourself and fight forwards, because the more you keep track of it, the more powerful that number can become. Give yourself that opportunity to give yourself proper credit for what you deserve, for putting in that work and fighting forward against anything that is trying to slow you down. And don't downplay the seriousness of dealing with mental health issues or symptoms, because depression is a killer. It kills without discrimination. It is a serious illness, and it should be taken seriously. So every day that we stay alive and fight forwards and build ourselves up right in the face of that thing, we deserve credit for it. And ultimately, the most important person that can give you credit is you. So please do give yourself credit for that. Give yourself credit for continuing to move forwards. And even if it's not consistent progress, even if it's not every single day, you never lose proof. You never lose volume if you keep track of that number. Then you can give yourself proper credit and really value yourself and build yourself up so that you can take yourself out of that mindset that depression tries to sell us, that victim mindset, and switch it over to victor, more accurate, something based on reality rather than the serotonin imbalance that we go through from time to time. So it's been 732 days of progress for me, Sackman. Let me know how many days it's been for you. By sharing that number, we can help inspire each other and others to make progress in their lives as well. And today is an active recovery day. It's our Waterflow Wednesday, so we're going to be slowing things down. I already got in some high-intensity training. I wasn't intending to, but it's so much fun. I love it. So I got a little carried away earlier, built up a sweat. Was not my intention, but it felt good. I feel good. I'm going to try and bring that intensity level down right now. I'm just coming down from a couple of kicks. So we're going to tune into the breath, and that's going to help us calm that nervous system, calm our state of mind and our state of being. No matter what situation we were in right before class started or what situation we're dealing with in life, we can actually take control of our automatic nervous system when we learn how to use the proper tools to do so. And one of those tools is breath. It's the breath work tool. So what we're going to use today is a diaphragmic breathing tool. Very easy. You guys have done it a million times. So won't go into too much depth, but we'll break that down. And we're going to link that breath work tool with movement to make it super effective against depression, and also allow us to learn and improve on our Muay Thai techniques as well. So to start off, let's talk about that breath work tool. Remember, always visualize the target, always. Even if I forget to mention it one day or 2 days. Know that I'm doing it every time as well. We want to visualize that figure, that opponent in front of us, the opposition, whether it's depression or anxiety. Visualize it as if actually physically embodying a form of a human. And then when we land our strikes, we can land them with accuracy on target, and we can also consciously acknowledge that we are defeating depression. We're defeating those debilitating effects. So visualize your depression dummy. Visualize that anxiety dummy. Shout out to Brett, aka Soul. Thank you so much for joining as well. And we're just talking about the visualization tool, and now we're going to get into that breathwork tool, because today is a low-intensity, active recovery session. It's important to break up that high-intensity training, especially if you're pushing really hard every day. That way we don't overwork. We don't wind up with more anxiety or more depression. So today we're going to use that diaphragmatic breathing tool. Let's break that down real quick, and then we're going to get into a straight-through 10-minute session where we'll bounce back and forth, tuning into the breath, making sure we're keeping it low intensity, checking in on ourselves, and giving ourselves that proper rest and proper relaxation. Let's talk about the breathwork tool real quick. We can use one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Breathe deep, and some keys to making this effective is breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. When we exhale through the mouth, put some resistance there in the lips, put some back pressure in it. That'll further exercise that diaphragmatic breathing muscle. And we're breathing deep to the belly, keeping the chest flat, and we're exhaling all that air out of the belly, out of the mouth. So let's practice that together real quick. Deep breath in through the nose. That can be slow, nice and slow. Hold it for a moment. And then long and slow exhale out the mouth. Notice the chest stays flat the whole time. We're breathing deep into that belly, drawing that breath in deep to that lower, that diaphragmatic muscle. Let's take that deep breath in again through the nose one time, nice and slow. Hold. And then long and slow exhale. With resistance in the lips. You might find that calming effect of that breathwork tool already becoming effective if you check in with yourself right now, if you're getting that tool down. Because as with any tool, it is only effective once we learn how to use it properly. And once we do that, it's not something we need to believe in, or all we need to do is get it down, learn how to use it, and then we can make it effective. So when we're exhaling, when we're dealing with that exhale, we want to make sure that that exhale is twice as long at least as the inhale. Keep it nice and slow, nice and controlled. It should help calm the nervous system, bring that heart rate down, bring that excited energy down, and give us a chance to relax and focus, get clear. It's also a great way to ground yourself into the moment and take yourself out of ruminating worries about the past, the future. It's all about what we can do right now, what we can show up for right now, and tune into this moment where we're powerful and capable of moving forwards. So now that we talked about the breathwork tool, let's link it with movement so that we can practice some martial arts as well as give ourselves a break. And in that way, we never have to stop training. We never have to take a day off from progress, and we can continue to sharpen those skills. And build that muscle memory. So in order to make this effective and make it a martial arts training routine, we're going to take our defensive stance on that inhale to the belly. So when we inhale deep through the nose to the belly, we'll be bringing that guard up into Muay Thai stance, tucking the chin, squaring the hips and shoulders with that target, right? Closing the fists. And we're holding our breath there. When you're ready to strike, nice and slow, we're going to exhale out that mouth and let the breath be our guide. Nice and slow, exhale into a jab. Twisting through the body, using proper form here, squeezing the fist at the point of impact. We want to land on those large knuckles. Keep that thumb tucked out of harm's way underneath those top two fingers, right? Wrist nice and straight. We want to finish the breath at the end of the strike there. And deep breath back as we return to defensive stance. Squaring up those hips and shoulders, returning to Muay Thai stance. Holding that breath in defense. Long and slow exhale through offensive movements. We want to fully exhale there, all of that air out of the belly. And that will keep that calming energy going, give us that active recovery session, as well as let us continue to improve on those striking patterns. So we're going to start with the jab like we just did. We'll build up from there. We'll get creative. You guys can use any striking pattern that you'd like from any form of martial arts that involves striking. Taekwondo, karate, Kempo, Muay Thai, any form of martial arts that involves striking patterns. You can use any of those, your favorite one. Pick the ones you enjoy the most. And then link those movements with the breath. Get creative with it. So like I said, we're going to start with the jab. We're going to build up from there, but we're going to get creative. It's going to be very free form. It's all about making that progress your own. So maybe you really enjoy throwing elbows. Maybe you really enjoy throwing knees. You can use any of those. Use any of those tools that you've learned so far and really make that pattern your own. We're going to keep the strikes limited to about 3 total strikes on each exhale. That will make sure that our pace stays low and we can keep that heart rate low and that energy low as we move through this low intensity session. And we'll also have some calming tunes coming out of that boombox, that retro synth 80s boombox. We got some binaural beats coming out of there that should help you keep calm and relaxed.
Bluetooth.
And that nice slow pace.
Bluetooth.
There it is. Oh, one more. There we go. And if you want to get the full effect of that music, please do stream it on Spotify through headphones, and you can get that binaural effect going. So we're going to get right into it. Go ahead and square up with that opponent. And we're starting the timer now. We're going to tune into that breath work tool first. So bring the hands up to guard. Shout out to Bonnie Pass. Thanks for joining. Bring the hands up to guard here by the brow line. Closing the fingers, tucking the thumbs. Squared shoulders, squared hips with that target. Nice balanced stance. And we're going to take that deep breath in through the nose to the belly in our defensive stance. And we're going to hold it for a moment. Let's do that together. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold that breath, and then long and slow exhale as we twist forward. Small step on that front foot. Twist through the hips and shoulders. Fully exhale there as you extend that front fist forwards. Deep inhale through the nose on our way back. Guard high, holding that breath in the belly. Long and slow exhale out the mouth as you flow through into that striking pattern. The fist turning over, thumbs tucked. Think about form. Think about all the small adjustments you can make and maintain balance as you practice these striking forms. Deep inhale back to the belly. Guard is high. Hold that breath in the belly. We're going to add in the cross now. Long exhale through jab and cross. Sending those fists down the center line. Keeping the guard high on the opposite fist as you rotate through into those striking patterns, and finish that exhale in that striking pattern. Remember, don't return to defense until it's time to inhale, and inhale nice and deep through that nose to the belly. Hold it. Long and slow exhale through jab cross. Fully exhale there. Visualizing that target, landing on the large two knuckles. You can tuck the chin into the shoulder for more defense. Keep that wrist nice and straight. So many points to focus in on and improve. Deep inhale back to defensive stance. Guard high by the brow line, chin tucked. Shoulders rolled for more defense, hips curled. Long exhale for jab cross. Remember, we're in our balanced Muay Thai stance. So we want to keep everything evenly spaced. Feet are evenly spaced apart. Heads on that center line. Chins tucked into the shoulder. Exhaling nice and slow through those striking patterns. Deep inhale back. Hold that guard high. Long and slow. Now we're going to exhale through 3 strikes. But we're keeping them nice and slow. Jab, cross, jab. And long and slow. Flow through them. Exhale through. Notice the rotation, twisting through the hips and shoulders, rotating on the ball of each foot as we drive those fists down the center line. Keeping it nice and balanced, nice and square. Guard returns to the head after each strike. Fully exhale there in striking pattern. Deep inhale back. Hold that breath in the belly and exhale long and slow through jab, cross, jab. Inhale back. Now let's return to that breath for a moment. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs if you're feeling that lactic acid build up. You want to keep loose and go at your pace. If you need water, drink some water right now. We're going to tune into that breath and make sure we keep that pattern nice and slow, nice and controlled. One hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Long and slow inhale through the nose to the belly. Filling that belly with air, keeping the chest where it is, and long and slow exhale out the mouth. Remember, we want that exhale twice as long, at least, as the inhale. Let's do it again. Deep inhale through the nose to the belly. Hold that breath in the belly for a moment. Long and slow exhale through pursed lips. Calming the nervous system with that diaphragmatic breath. Back to stance, and we're going to take that deep inhale to defense, and now we're going to get creative. I want you to free form with any of the tools that you've learned so far. You can follow with me visually or create your own patterns here using any one of your weapons. Take that deep breath into the belly in defensive stance, and then long and slow exhale through your first striking pattern. It can be anything you'd like. If you lose balance, don't worry about it. Step back, reset to squared position, And reset on that inhale. Deep inhale back to the belly. Guard high, long and slow exhale through the strike. Fully exhale and striking pattern. Deep inhale back. Guard high, nice and centered, nice and squared. Long and slow exhale through your strikes. It can be a single strike. It can be up to 3 strikes here. But the trick is flowing nice and slow into those strikes and letting the breath be your guide. Deep inhale back. To guard, long and slow exhale forward through strikes. Deep inhale back. Guard high, hold that breath in the belly, long and slow exhale through those strikes. Deep inhale back to defensive position. Hold that breath in the belly, long and slow exhale through strikes. Remember, a maximum of 3 strikes here. Keep it nice and slow. Deep inhale back to defensive position. Shout out to Slayer Ken. Hold that breath in the belly. Long and slow exhale forward through strikes. Fully exhale in striking pattern. Deep inhale back to the belly. Guard high, hold that breath in the belly, long and slow exhale through strikes. Deep inhale back to defensive position. Hold that breath in the belly and exhale forward through striking patterns. Deep inhale back. Now if you're going to follow along at home, if you're following with me visually, let's shake out those arms again, shake out that lactic acid. Shout out to Ken at 340 days for sharing your progress, appreciate that. Let's retune into that breathwork tool, make sure we don't get carried away here with the striking patterns. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale through pursed lips. Letting that belly fall, keeping the breath twice as long on the exhale. Deep inhale again through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale here. Nice and slow. Shout out to Master Checo. Thanks for joining. Alright, popping back into position now. I'm going to stick to elbow strikes on this one. If you want to follow along visually, feel free. If you want to use your own striking patterns, also totally cool. Take that deep breath into the belly as you return to defensive stance. Guard high, chin tucked. We're going to long and slow exhale as we drop that lead hand into the pocket on the chest, into the pocket, and rotate through. Keeping the guard high on the opposite hand. You're going to have the open palm defense, closed palm defense, side defense, no matter preference. But finish that exhale right there at the point of impact. Deep inhale back to the belly. As we return to defensive stance, hold that breath in the belly, long and slow through lead elbow strikes. Stepping forwards, fully exhaling. And deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. Guard high, hold that breath in, chin tucked. And now we're going to do a little bonus elbow action, long and slow exhale through. And then pull that hand back out of the pocket for a little bonus elbow pop there. Again, keep it nice and slow. Finish that breath at the point of impact. And deep inhale back to defensive stance. Guard high, breath in the belly, long and slow exhale through elbow strikes. And we're going to add in a third. Swap the guard, rotate through on the rear foot, twist in through that body, hips and shoulders twist together. And we're landing that final strike at the end of the breath there. Deep inhale back to defensive stance. Guard high by the brow line, chin tucked, shoulders rolled, hips curled. We're nice and balanced. Long and slow exhale through 3 elbow strikes here. Guard stays high through all 3. Deep inhale back to the belly. Thank you to Checo for the kick compliment. Appreciate that. Long and slow exhale through 3 elbow strikes. Oh wow, a little extra bonus action there. Let's limit it to 3 though. Keep that pattern low so we can keep the vibe low, the energy low. Deep inhale back to the belly. Hold that guard high. Long and slow exhale through elbow strikes. Shout out to Tattoo Richie. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the support. And that is the end of our calming active recovery session where we link that breath work with movement, give ourselves a break from the high intensity training, but continue to refine those martial arts techniques and patterns. Now, to make sure that we're keeping it low intensity and we're keeping that energy level down and slowing that heart rate, slowing that nervous system, let's tune into the breath one final time before we leave. Continue with that diaphragmic breathing tool. Deep in through the nose to the belly. Keep the chest nice and flat. Just breathe together. Hold it. And then long and slow exhale through pursed lips. Letting the belly fall, chest stays flat the entire time. Deep breath in again through the nose to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. And that is the end. That is the full end of our active recovery, low intensity Waterflow Wednesday session. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and you're feeling the benefits of this calming breathwork tool, because if you've noticed, even if you do get carried away sometimes with the striking patterns and that nervous system amps up, right? We can take control of it and calm it back down, slowing the heart rate. If you check in on yourself right now, you should have a lower heart rate, kind of a calming energy here. We don't have that out of breath or high intensity feeling, that high energy feeling. We're getting our control back. And that's what one of the cool elements to martial arts training. It involves breath work naturally. It's naturally a good way to breathe out through the mouth, in through the nose, keep ourselves fit and keep ourselves effective. But we can take it a step further and really focus in on that breath work tool. It gives us another tool in our tool set for when we're dealing with high intensity or high stress situations. So in any other situation, even if you can't get up and get into motion, you can still practice that breathwork tool in the nose to the belly, exhale out the mouth with resistance, twice as long as that inhale, and then that allows you to calm your nervous system and think clearly, get through possible stressful situations. Shout out as well to When Roses Blossom. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Mad with Hat said, thanks everybody, good stuff. Glad you guys are enjoying it. If you're having a good time, please feel free to drop a comment on our post or on the YouTube at Sack Life Daily. We post these lessons up every single day right after the show. It should be up there in about 10 minutes. And you can let the world know if you're having a good experience. It might help somebody else open their mind to tools that may positively impact them on their journey towards better mental health. And until next time, I'll catch you guys and girls, same Sack time, same Sack channel, same Sack life. Sack man out.